this thing on. Welcome to Living with Marcial. Yes. What is going on, y'all? How are y'all feeling? How is everybody doing? Welcome to the show. Scotty, mi primo, what is going on, bro? How are you feeling? Indescencialicia, what is going on? Yes, we're live for Living with Marcial. This is where you and I get to hang out and chit-chat and chop it up and talk about fragrances, and I get to read you a little bit. Some people actually stay so I can read them to sleep, and that's quite all right. I don't know whose face this is, but I find it fascinating. Looks like the kind of person that picks their nose. I don't know. Yes, I get to read, and the book I'm reading to you guys from is the Ghost Perfumer. The Ghost Perfumer. I love it. I love it. It's a really good book to read from, I tell you. I find it fascinating from the beginning to where I'm at right now. I am such a slow reader. Are you guys slow readers? I'm a slow reader. And I tend to read multiple books at the same time. Yes. I read multiple books at the same time. So it takes me a while to get to where I have to get to. But in the meantime, you know, I was thinking about, so some of my favorite fragrances. Please tell me, guys, what have been some of your favorite fragrances for 2021? If you know me, you know off the bat, Wafts from the Lofts is my #1 fragrance for the year 2021. I love it. I loved it. Hey, what's up, AR? I loved it and I love it. It's one of those fragrances that I believe I will be able to wear forever. Forever, you know? The other one that I loved is Clutch from Perfumology, but Sudute has almost taken its place as #3 of the top 3 fragrances that I smelled for 2021. #2 is 14-Hour Dream. 14-Hour Dream. You're not a slow reader, you're a knowledge digester. Thank you, primo. I appreciate that. That's what I am. I'm a knowledge digester. And you're absolutely correct. I never heard it that way, bro. Thank you. Thank you very much for putting the words in my heart. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I'm the kind of person, I cannot just read something. I have to read and understand it. Like, there's a part where Gabe Oppenheim, speaking about Olivier Crest, okay? I'm going to read you this paragraph. It says that Olivier is a caricature of a Frenchman born into great wealth. That his definition of sporting would be rather brutally challenged just a few subway stops away, say in Rucker Park or just over the Manhattan Bridge in Gleason's gym, is obvious. He fits in downtown no better than Crocodile Dundee, if for reasons less outback, though, than Gaelic smug. And so I read the word Gaelic smug, and I was like, Gaelic, I know Gaelic is the language that they speak in Ireland, right? So why would he say Gaelic smug? Because he's not Irish. So I look up Gaelic, and the word Gaelic, I even wrote it down here, means French or typically French. So the word Gaelic can be the language that they speak in Ireland, or it can mean French. Who knew? Who knew? What is going on, Asibrand? You asked me if I remembered your name, and I'm going to say forgive me. I do not. I have a horrible memory, you know? So, hey, what's up, Scented Echoes? What is going on? Tell me, guys, what have been your top 3 fragrances for the year 2021? For me, my #1 is Wafts from the Lofts, 4160 Tuesday, London. My #2 is 14-Hour Dream by Juicebox, and my #2 is 14-Hour Dream by Juicebox, and my #3 is a tie between Clutch and Sudute by Perfumology. Another thing I wanted to talk about, so if you like 1 Million Prive, not 1 Million Lucky, I'm not talking about 1 million, because I had told a person that this fragrance, Mesmerized Black by Avon, is identical. What's going on? What is going on? How are you feeling? I had told them that it is identical to 1 Million Prive. And so I sent it to them to smell, and they're like, nah, it doesn't smell like 1 Million. It does not smell like 1 Million. It smells like 1 Million Prive, the one that has been discontinued. So if you are a person, or you know a person that loves 1 Million Prive and is saddened by its being discontinued, fear no more. You can get them for only like $17 on Avon. Avon Mesmerized Black, and it is fragdentical, not fragternal. It's fragdentical, okay, to the 1 Million Prive, and it works so well. It works just as well. Check it out, primo. Check it out. Yes, Alicia, check it out. Check it out. Get it for the people. Now, another fragrance that I fell in love with from Avon. I opened it and wore it today, and I gave it away to the delivery person. So, but I have another one here with me. This is from Avon. They have a line called Techtopian. Techtopian, and they also, you'll see it here, it says Techtopian Studio 1886. And that's because Avon began in 1886 with perfumes. A lot of people don't know that. Avon started off with perfumes. That is how they began. So, you know, people try and play Avon for, you know, they say, oh, their fragrances, whatever. Listen, they have some of the top perfumers making their fragrances. So this is the Techtopian 1886, and it is a rose fragrance. It smells so good. You can get the lotion. What I did is I took a shower with a rose body soap. I put the lotion for this one and then the fragrance itself. Let me read what it says over here. Oh no, it doesn't have the notes in there. Oh no, okay, it says a fragrance that looks to the future and inspires the exploration of merging disruptive and the multidimensional with electrifying notes of magnolia, white peony, and lily of the valley, blurring digitized with natural. And so I think they get the name Techtopian from technology and dystopian. Do you, primo? Listen, I love Avon. I love Avon. Oh, you were saying I love, yes, I love Avon. I will never play Avon. Now, they come out with crap. You know what I mean? Like, we know that. They come out with crap. But they also come out with awesome stuff, including skincare. My skincare is 90% Avon. I do use Dove, the bar. I may sometimes use something else, but 90% of my skincare is Avon. And I am 43, and look at how supple that skin is. Look at that. Look at that. Okay? Need I say more? So this is a really good smelling scent. It does lean more feminine than unisex, but it smells great. So they also have a line for men. And I got this one. I gave, who did I give this? It was another delivery person, but they were just like, they were like, no, I can't take it. I was like, yes, you can, and you better. So this one is the one for men, and I do love it. I've smelled it when it first came out on its own, and I loved it. But it comes with, what is it, like a body wash, all-in-one hair and body wash, and it has a gel moisturizer. I really like how it smells. I'm gonna re-smell it, but I think for me it smelled almost like a blue fragrance, even though it's supposed to give you black, you know? It just smells so good. And it has that kind of almost ambroxan kind of energy. Look at the bottle. Look at that bottle. That bottle is beautiful. I really do love their designs. I love their designs. And they just smell so good. They smell so good. They smell so good. They smell so good. And they last. That's what I love about them, is that they absolutely last. So let me ask you, Scented Echoes, have you ever tried Avon fragrances? Have you ever tried them? They're good. They're good. But let me know if you have, and if you haven't, I don't know exactly where, what continent you're on. What continent are you on? Oh, it smells so good. Let me see. So it says, enhance your grooming routine with our exclusive Studio 1886 Legendary Trio, featuring eau de toilette, all-in-one hair body wash, and all-in 1 gel moisturizer. This unique scent exudes the perfect balance of confidence and discovery. Vibrant lemon eases into crisp lavender for a fresh, faceted opening. Notes of patchouli and salted amber provide complexity and depth, revealing exquisite ingredients for a memorable fragrance. So there you go. You have lemon, you have lavender, you have patchouli and salted amber, and you can smell those. You've never heard, okay. So what continent do you live on? And if you want, I can have them sent to you, all right? So if you want, just go to the DM and be like, hey, Marcial, this is Scented Echoes. This is my info. Send it to there, all right? Oh, but it smells so good. And yes, I do pick up the lavender. Definitely pick up the lavender. And that amber is there. The amber is an interesting amber. It smells so good. So good. What fragrances did you guys wear today? Tijuana day. How are you? What is going on, my friend? How are you feeling? What is new? Hold on, I'm gonna try and take a shot here. Primo, I was thinking, let me know. Do you want to try it, Primo? You want to try the Avon fragrances? Because let me tell you, they're worth a try. And I feel like, for me, I love doing the random giveaways, especially with fragrances that I love. Because I feel like, the person gets to smell it. Nothing lost, on their part. And if they do like it, hey, they found something out. If they don't like it, I'm sure someone in their, circumference might like them. Oh my God, they're so good, Tiwa. They're so good. They're so good. So I was saying that I wore this one today with the lotion. Oh my goodness. But the secret was $17 a bottle. You know what I mean? $17 a bottle for the mesmerized black. You can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. And sometimes they have specials where you could buy 2 of them, you know what I mean? For like $23. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, damisés? Qu'est-ce que passe? What are you guys' favorite fragrances for 2021? Those of you who know me would know which ones they are. Clearly, Wash from the Lofts, 14-Hour Dream, and mixed between Clutch and Sudute. No, I don't sell them, my love. I don't sell them. A friend of mine is an Avon representative, and I buy them from her, and then I do hauls, I do hauls. She's like my second mother, you know what I mean? So that's my way of like helping out and also indulging, so it's like a 22 in a good way, catch 22 in a good way. I want to get Washed from the Lofts just to know your taste more. That would be wonderful. And so if you want to do that, go to Perfumology. You can order the sample. I always say get the samples. And the one that I like is the Parfum. I would suggest get the Parfum and the Eau de Parfum, and you can see which one you like most. I did not care for the Eau de Parfum. The Parfum was the one that it literally resonated in me. I don't know what happened. When I smelled the Eau de Parfum, I was like, this is cool. When I smelled the Parfum, all of a sudden, it melded with me, and so I had to get the bottle. And this is why I fell in love with Sarah McCartney, who is the creative director, perfumer, and owner of 4160 Tuesdays London. Because I was thinking, if a person is able to create something like that, so well balanced, that has over 72 materials, including oud, I was like, this person really knows what the heck they're doing, And she's proven it. She's proven that she really does know what she's doing. So 4160 Tuesday, London. Yeah, if you guys know me, I love all kinds of fragrances. Catalog, indie, artisanal, whatever, And so today, yes, it's amazing, Damizes. It is amazing. So I ordered today the Rose and the Tabak from George Zaharoff, and tomorrow I'm gonna order the trifecta or the trio that he has. I'm ready. Yes, okay, so that's why I said you're better off purchasing the samples, because it's, you know, it's an interesting fragrance. It's an interesting fragrance. For me, it has everything I love. It has oud and it has florals and it has aromatics. It just has everything but a perfect balance. So I would say Perfumology, get yourself a decant of the eau de parfum. As a matter of fact, I'll have it sent to you. Damn nice, you dropped dough today, cause yeah. So that's dough, yeah. Oh, forget about it. But I got one of them on the you pay for things, the shop, something like that. I did that with the tobacco, and then the rose I paid off the bat. I'm kind of getting myself ready for 2022 for the episodes that I'm going to be making. You know what I mean? Because once the year starts, it's a new season of fragrance reviews. Yeah, so I'm the kind of person that I'll as easily spend $10, $14, $17 for a fragrance as I would $200, $300 for a fragrance. As long as it's good, as long as it calls my attention, I'll blind buy an expensive fragrance if the notes, you know, speak to me, you know, or if the perfumer, like a Julien Rasquinet or a Natalie 5-star, you know, someone like that, I'll be like, okay, because I trust them. You know what I mean? I trust them to a certain degree. You know, but even if it's an unknown, we'll see. Yes, YouTube, I tell you. But you know, the funny thing is, clearly, I make no money. So this is all like a labor of love. I tell people I am my own sponsor, and the reason I do that is because I want to be able to be. Not that people who are sponsored cannot be. Let me, you know, clarify that. But I want to be able to be as honest as possible. I don't want to have to feel that I have to edit my rulings, because as a customer, when I do my videos, it's not really being done as a reviewer. It's being done as a person who wants to learn about fragrance and wants to be an educated consumer. You know what I mean? That's where I'm coming from. I want to be an educated consumer, you know. I'll blind buy an expensive frag too, but I'ma always research first, at least. Clearly. Fragrantica, you know, you check out your YouTube, the other YouTube videos, you know, see what they say, see how they felt about it. Because this is one thing I've learned in review world is that a person cannot like something and describe it. And if they described it well, the thing that makes them not like that fragrance is what will make another person be curious or want to purchase that fragrance. You know what I'm saying? It's almost the same ideology of one man's trash is another man's treasure. Well, one man's hated notes is another person's loved notes. You know, at one point I hated vetiver, starts with a V, vetiver. I hated it. I couldn't. And it was because it reminded me of an aunt that I could not tolerate. I just couldn't. And then along came Guerlain vetiver. And I sprayed it and I let it dry down and I loved it. And I said, oh, I can love vetiver. And now I really do enjoy vetiver fragrances. And this is something I tell people. Fragrance helped me to start liking my aunt that I didn't like. Because as soon as I started liking vetiver, that part of my brain or my heart that really didn't like her also changed. That little bit, you know, just a bit, changed. Because it started liking vetiver, so it was now free to start liking something about her. And can I tell you, now we're cool. I really find Fragrantica useful, but sometimes it's good to test for yourself. Absolutely, Scented Echoes, absolutely. The thing with Fragrantica is that it's not infallible, you know? It is not infallible. So, yes, exactly, Primo. It has a lot of BS reviews in it. Also, sadly, some of the reviews there are purchased, you know. There's you know, stuff like that. But, for the most part, you go there for the notes. I go there for the notes. The reviews are entertainment, you know. The reviews are to make you laugh. If you guys know who Veronica Says is, Veronica Says all in YouTube. She has some episodes where she reads the comments just because they're that funny. You know what I mean? They are that funny. So the comments, you go for entertainment. The notes are usually like 85 85% correct. So it's kind of like it's a toss-up. Yeah, thanks to Fragrantica, I can love my auntie. She can come to the door and I will open. I am horrible. Bass notes too, but I haven't been there in a minute. I haven't tried bass notes. I'm gonna try them out. That's interesting. I mean, so do they do kind of the same thing? I'm horrible, right? Dami says they do the same thing. They give you the note breakdown kind of thing. The year it came out. Thank you, Scented Echoes. I know I need to work on that. I need to improve. But yeah, so okay, so I'll talk a little bit about that. So when I was younger, I used to believe in grudges. Grudges were my friend. Yeah, they do the pyramid. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna check them out because I haven't seen that. So I was reading recently where the pyramid is not exactly vertical. The pyramid has its own. You know how fumes do that? Well, the very same thing is applicable, So sometimes in the top, you will smell a bass note. So it doesn't mean that, you only smell top notes, you only smell heart notes, you only smell bass notes. No, you can smell a bass note from the top all the way down, You can smell a top note sometimes all the way down. It's fascinating. Fragrance is fascinating. But when I was younger, grudges were my friend. And so that's what I learned when I turned like 17 was that grudges are part of immaturity. Grudges are part of immaturity. If you're holding a grudge, it's because that part of the mind has not matured. So fragrance helped me mature in that aspect with my aunt. You know what I mean? Of course, there were reasons for me to not want to speak with her. I'm not going to say I didn't speak to her. But what I will say is I just wasn't as loving to her as I was to my other aunts. Like there was a restraint of affection, And fragrance helped me to say, you know what? Okay, treat her like you treat your tia Carmen. You know what I mean? Or how you treated your tia Tel. Because you don't know how long she's going to be here for. And but yeah, that's something I learned about grudges. Grudges are immaturity. So if you're able to kind of like analyze why it's happening. Now, there's a difference between grudge and keeping a protective, safe distance, so it's two different things. For me, it was a grudge because she really didn't pose a danger. So it's always one family. You know what I'm saying? It is always one family member. Goodness. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. But hopefully we always reach that area where we're able to fix it. You respect her because she smelled like vetiver, and you realize vetiver is a respectable note in perfumery. Yeah, I was able to now like it. And give her an opportunity. And I mean, I'm not gonna say I want to give her a hug and a kiss, but I do say, you know what, hey, let's call her up and see how she's doing, what's going on with her life. I do want her to know that I'm worrying about her and thinking about her. Those are and that's a good thing to do. It's a nice place to be. Once you let go of it, it's like, you know what I mean? So I don't know if anybody has mentioned their fragrance. Paying for is nice. I love that. Oh my goodness. It's like it's the modern day layaway. It's the modern day layaway, and I love it. Let me see. Okay, there you go. So guys, I want to read you a little bit from the book. Let me read you something. I'm going to read you one paragraph. Hey, Trill, what's going on? Hi, Mighty. What is going on? I just ghettoized it, calling it that. Listen, ghettoized is a good thing to do. What's going on, Trill? How are you feeling? How's the family? Send the love to the family, all right? So I'm going to read you. It says, we, the users, aromatic enthusiasts, may have turned to fragrances. What's going on? Not for the purpose of seduction, but instead out of loneliness, heartbreak, physical pain. I know a small something about the first two and a great deal more about the third. We became reliant then on the flood of feel-good neurotransmitters attended to our every depression of the atomizer. You know what? The one thing you'll find out about Gabe Oppenheim is that when he writes, he does not write in vain. So the very way he could have used the word press, right? When you press, it is also the depression of the atomizer, right? It's a deep book. So he chose to use that word. We become reliant then on the flood of feel-good neurotransmitters, which is the opposite of the chemicals that, or lack thereof chemicals, that cause us to feel depressed. So he uses that depression of the atomizer. I just love how he writes. Next, we required darker, deeper, more complex creations to obtain that rush. Ever more sniffs of the new and exotic, though we'd settle in desperate moments for the bottles locked behind the plexiglass at CVS. I love that, and it's so true. It's talking about the progression of the fragrance enthusiast. Where we started and where we are at present are two different places. You know what I mean? Very few of us are able to say that we still like rocking the Avon and like rocking the Tom Fords or the Creeds or the what? You know, whatever other fragrances are out there. So it's because, and it's not that you're a snob, it's just the progression, you know? Some people tend to start and they mark where they're at. So you started here and you progress here, you mark here and you don't use these. And you keep going and you mark where you're at, you know? But what I would encourage you to do is remember the old. You know, remember that appreciation that you had for the designer. I know a lot of people that cannot rock designer anymore, and it's because now they want something deeper, something richer. Even their citrus fragrances have to come from quality materials, and they can tell the difference between a really good citron and crap limonelle. You know what I mean? It's like they're able to smell it, you know, and that's not a bad thing. It's just I made the decision when I was younger that's it. When I was younger in my fragrance journey, November of last year, I made the decision that I was going to always remember the old. So if you go back to my first episode on my YouTube channel for fragrance, I did it with Jafra. I think it was Jafra. Did I do Jafra? But I know that within the first few, I did Jafra, which a lot of people would be like, Jafra? Yes, Jafra has some good stuff, you know? Avon has some good stuff. Mary Kay, I've never really tried. I don't know if you guys have ever tried anything from Mary Kay. At one point, I was purchasing their skincare, but I realized that Avon skincare works. It's just better for my skin. I don't know. Do you remember that, Jafra? Let me tell you. My favorite one from them was, I think it was called something like indelebles, something like that. But it smelled really, really good. They come out with good stuff. And then for the men, I like the JF9. If you ever get your chance to smell that JF9, it's a Fauget. The old is what brought me to the new, but I will, yes, there you go. I will also pin that one. I love that one. The old, that's what it is. The old is what brought us to where we got, you know? Designer fragrances are what took us to the upper echelon of designer fragrances, which is what took us to niche, which is what took us to indie. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's remember them all. But there's nothing wrong if you forget. You know what I mean? There really isn't anything wrong if you forget. Because there's enough of us to purchase from the old. And so let me tell you, this book, I am absolutely loving it. Like, absolutely loving it. So I have another one. The caveat to this other one is very small. There's a sentence in page 13 that has a little bit of wrong information, and inside of there is a card that corrects it. So on the giveaways that I've been doing with this book, what I have done is that I've just simply ordered from Amazon the new one. But if someone would like to have this copy with that one line, that's it's a stupid error, but he corrected it, then hit me up on the DM and I'll send it to you. All right, but it's a really good book. It's a book that I think, you know, every fragrance enthusiast should read, because even though it talks a lot about Creed, it's not only Creed centric. You will come out of here learning and understanding so much more about the business side of fragrance, the controversies that occur, the drama that happen, you know, fragrance wide. So it's not just Creed, it's a lot of other companies. This man, Gabe Oppenheim, is just an amazing human being. So I hope you enjoyed my little bit of reading. Yes, I like Mark. To my favorite perfume is Bayard. I remember that. Yeah, thank you. So guys, I am going to sing you out, and I got to read you, so I hope you enjoyed the little bit of reading. And we talked about fragrances. I reminded you guys. Who remembers what's my favorite fragrance? My number one fragrance. Who remembers that? My number one fragrance. I'm gonna see if anyone remembers my number one fragrance. Yeah, well, I'm because I try not to make the videos, the episodes too long. Because if they're too long, then it's like, you know, people be like, oh, Scotty, okay, so then that, you know what, Scotty, you want it. I'm going to send you the book, all right? I'm going to send you the book. This book is yours. The book is yours, and that's exactly it. Watch from the Lofts, 4160s Tuesdays. Thank you so much, all right? I love you all. Goodbye, my lovely fragrance blenders. Yeah, for real. I'll see. Let me take a screenshot here. There you go. And smell you soon. Ciao, everybody. Love you from the heart, and thank you for joining.